Very good morning, dear children. So today we are going to start a new chapter, and the name of our chapter is Sports and Nutrition. Right? This is our chapter number 2, and we are dealing with chapter number 2, that is Sports and Nutrition. Right, beta? So when we talk about sports and nutrition, it is very important in sports arena about nutrition. So first we need to know what is the meaning of nutrition. See, children, we take a lot of food. We have bananas, we have fruits, we have various vegetables, we have chapati, and so many things we take in our diet, right? These food give us some energy. These food give us some nutrients. Okay, so like nutrients like carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamins, minerals, right? So sports and nutrition, it has a great relationship. Okay, so whenever we talk about sports, whenever we talk about nutrition, see, like I'll just tell you one example of a wrestler. So let's say you are doing wrestling, so your diet must be rich of protein because you are doing a exercise which is related to bodybuilding, because you will be there a bodybuilder, right? So when we talk about any profession, like if you are a normal person, so you must have a balanced diet, right? See, is a basic requirement of every individual to fulfill the energy needs to meet development of the body. There are two terms, children. One is the growth and second one is the development. When we talk about growth, so it is a cellular term, right? Like increase in height, increase in cell, right? Hormonal secretion, etc. So when we talk about growth, it is fully a cellular term. And when we talk about development, so development is related to wholesome development of human personality in terms of physical, in terms of mental, in terms of emotional, intellectual, every aspects, right? So it is what this is something which is based on what the development of a person. So food play a very important role, because if you want to do any exercise, if you're doing anything, you must have energy in your body to do that task, right? So the food we eat is called diet. So there will be a question in your MCQ: the food that we eat is called food, vegetable, mango, banana, etc. No, it's called diet. So the food that we eat is called diet. Okay. The energetic food in our diet consists of various types of chemicals called nutrients. So the chemical substance which are present in our food are called nutrients. What? Nutrients. What is nutrients? So the chemical substance which are present in our food which give us energy. So the examples of nutrients are carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamins, minerals, etc. Right? So here we have clear two terms. One is diet. It means the food that we eat is called diet. Second point is nutrients. The chemical substance which is present in food is called nutrients. Got it? Now the next term is nutrition. So beta, nutrition kya hai? It is the science which deals with the nutritious diet, and its importance for an individual is known as nutrition. Nutrition is that process in which a person take a diet, the digestion process occur, the flow of the energy will be in the body, right? So nutrition is a process in which a person consume food, consume nutrients like carbohydrate, like fat, like protein, like we had in our breakfast and lunch and dinner, no? Pulses, chapati, rice, vegetables, salad, etc. So salad give us what? Vitamins. Pulses give us protein. Rice give us carbohydrate. Okay. So various nutrients are required, and all those nutrients come together and help us in our nutrition. So we must have a balanced diet food, right? Each and every nutrient in a correct proportion. So diet, the food that we eat is called diet, and the chemical substance which are present in our food like carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamins, these are called nutrients. And the process by which a human, an individual take all those nutrients and there is a formation of energy, we called it nutrition. Now there is a next term which is balanced diet. Nowadays you can see that many of the students are thin, some of them are obese, and there are so many problems with them. Children, see, it is very important to have balanced diet, right? Whatever you eat, there must be a balance, right? See, when we talk about balanced diet, it means a diet which consists of all the nutrients in a correct proportion. Okay, So it is very important to have sufficient amount of energy in our body which is required, right? And the nutrition diet is the well nutritious diet is also called balanced diet, right? So it provides a sufficient energy for workout, help for the growth and development of an individual. Moreover, it protects an individual from various health problems, various illness, various disease, right? So this session in this nutrition chapter, you will be able to understand what is balanced diet, what are the importance of balanced diet. Okay, and you will be get a knowledge of various components of diet, what are the factors affecting diet, right? So the very first point is what is balanced diet, right, beta? So when we talk about balanced diet, the food we eat is known as diet, and it is the basic requirement of all individual, because we all know this thing. Diet is a daily intake of food in a human body, like having milk, then breakfast, right? Then lunch, then dinner. So these are the daily intake food a human being consumes, right? It provides energy for our body, and like if you are a gym boy, so you require a lot of protein, like you go for meat, you go for egg, you go for pulses, right? So human being take different types of food in their diet. It may be liquid form, it may be solid form, it may be semi-solid. These things which we eat give us energy to our body for performing work in a proper way. Our body grows, develops, and functions properly with the help of macro and micronutrients. It means here we came to know about two things, that is macro and micronutrient. There are two things, children, right? So there are two types of nutrients, macronutrients and micronutrients, right? So when we talk about macronutrients, what is macronutrients? You must, if you're a commerce student, you must understand there are two kinds of book in your economics, macroeconomics and microeconomics. It means a big, macro means large and micro means small. Okay, so macro means something which is large and micro means something which is small. So there are two types of things, macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are those nutrients which are required in large amount, and micronutrients are those nutrients which are required in a small amount in our body. So what could be the definition of balanced diet, right? So when we talk about balanced diet is a diet which consists of all the nutrients. Now all the nutrients means what? Carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamin, mineral, right? So that is, these nutrients are of two categories, macronutrients and micronutrients. Like carbohydrate, fat, protein. These three are macronutrients. Vitamins, minerals, water, roughage, these are micronutrients. So when all the nutrients are there in a correct proportion, then definitely it will help for the efficient working of our body. In simple words, if I speak upon balanced diet, so it's an intake of appropriate type of adequate amount of food to supply energy to our body for the proper growth and development of our body, and it will ensure the good health of an individual. Balanced diet contains all the nutrients, whether it is macro, whether it is micro. Insufficient, when we talk about if we take a sufficient nutrients which is required to our body, it will fulfill the need of our body. And if the needs of your body is fulfilled, then there is no problem. Okay, now beta, we have three things in balanced diet, right? So first we understand what is diet, then we understand nutrient, nutrition, right? Now I'll be telling you that balanced diet is divided into three parts. How many parts? Three parts. Balanced diet is divided into three parts. So first kind of food is energy yielding food. What is the first kind of food we have? We have first kind of food, that is energy yielding food. So when it is energy yielding food, it means it gives instant energy to a person. So energy yielding food consists of carbs, that is carbohydrate, and fat, that is macronutrient. So macronutrient, carbohydrate, and fats are there. These food help, these foods help the person to provide energy during his workout, to performing various activities. The carbohydrate should be 60 to 70% in your diet. How much percent? It must be there 60 to 70% in your diet. It is very important. Whereas majority of carbohydrate should be complex carbohydrate. So carbohydrate is of two types, macro and micro, that is complex and simple. Fat also provide you energy. So fat should not exceed than 5 to 10%. It must be 5 to 10%, otherwise you will get obesity. Carbohydrates are easy and good source of energy, whereas fats are difficult to digest, and hence they get energy from, you know, in our body. So children, thus fat should be less in our diet. Moreover, they cause chance of overweight, obesity, and various heart problems. So here you note that energy adding food must be 60 to 70%. That is carbohydrate and fat should not be more than 5 to 10%. Okay, everyone. Now let us come on bodybuilding food. So whenever we talk about bodybuilding food, it consists of protein, it consists of, pulses and all, because these are the source of proteins. So bodybuilding food require protein. Okay, so it helps in growth and development of body. It helps to repair or replace the bone tissue. If you have a cut or if you have an injury, so definitely it can be overcome by proteins. You must remember that there are lysosomes in a cell, which are the societal bag. We call it societal bag also. Okay, so bodybuilding food is also a kind of nutrients, protein that you consume for the proper growth and development of your body, which helps you to replace the bone tissue. It provides faster recovery from injury, and protein must be 15 to 20% in your diet. The deficiency of protein lead to hair loss. Deficiency of protein lead to lean body. If you want a muscular good body, a gym boy or a desi akhara boy. So if you want to have a muscular body, will broad chest, quad, bicep, tricep, and everything, protein must be rich in your diet. Don't go for artificial protein. Go for the natural protein like the pulses, like egg, and like meat, and so many things are there from where you get the proteins. Defensive food. It consists of vitamins, minerals, water, roughage, and these food helps you to provide proper functioning of your defensive system. Like see children's, protein is a macronutrient, energy adding food, carbohydrate is a macronutrient. When I talk about defensive foods, so here we have a micronutrients. So micronutrients like minerals, vitamin, water, roughage, these are some food, these are some nutrients which are micronutrient, which is also called defensive food, because they make our immune system strong, and they make it what the word you want like to mean to speak is that it will definitely help us to function properly of our body. It will lead to fight against infection and anything. Basically they'll help us to fight against the infection. So they are making our immune system strong, right? If we talk about defensive food children's, so these improve or enhance your immune system of the body. Thus it helps to defend against germs, against disease, illness, and various infections. These food should be 15 to 20% of the diet. So you must have a fruit a day, like you may go for apple, banana, pear, anything, whatever the fruit you want, you must have, because this consists of fibers and these are very good for your system. They'll definitely help you to make your immune system strong, right? Apart from this, one should drink 3 to 5 liters of water for the maintain osmotic balance, that is the hydro balance in your body, water balance in your body. Let us come to know this chart once. What is the exact meaning of this chart? First, we'll understood this. So when we talk about this chart, first is nutrients. So the chemical substance, the natural chemical substance found in the food that are critical for the human growth and development, right? So nutrients are of two types. How many types of nutrients are there? There are two types of nutrient, that is the macronutrients and micronutrients. When we talk about macronutrients, so macronutrients are what? Carbohydrate, fat, protein. What is the meaning of macronutrient? The word macro itself means large, something which is required in a large quantity, right? So macronutrients are those nutrients which are required in large amount. Example: carbohydrate, fat, proteins, etc. Now you can see here that there is another term, macronutrient, right? So when it is macro, it is large amount, and the first thing is micro. So micro means something which is required in a small amount. Vitamins and minerals are something which is required in a small amount. So we have fat soluble vitamins, we have water soluble vitamin too. So if we talk about vitamins, we'll definitely go through these things in detail, right? It's a very important task. So we are talking about fat soluble vitamins, so those vitamins which are required in large amount. right? So fat soluble vitamins are those vitamins which are required in large amount and they are soluble in fat. So vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. These four nutrients are fat soluble vitamins, right? So vitamin A, D, E, K. These nutrients are fat soluble vitamins. There are some nutrients that is the vitamin, water soluble vitamin. So water soluble vitamins are soluble in water. So they are vitamin B complex, that is vitamin B1, B2, B12, B6, right? So these are water soluble vitamin, and there is also vitamin C that is also called ascorbic acid. सारी खट्टी चीजें विटामिन सी के अंदर आएंगी. Okay, now about minerals. So minerals is what they are also helps good. They're helping us in defensive, maintaining our immune system. They defense us from various injuries like internal infections and all. Right. So major minerals or trace minerals. So minerals like calcium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, chloride, magnesium, sulfur. Why it is called major beta? Because these are required in a major amount in our body. They are required in large amount in our body. That is why this kind of this minerals we call major mineral. Some minerals are required in a trace amount, small amount. So we call them minor minerals or major or trace minerals. So iron, zinc, copper, manganese, fluoride, chromium, molybdenum, selenium, iodine. These are some nutrients which are required in a small amount. That is why we called it trace. So let's come here and recapitulate what we had understood today. The very first thing we have understood today about sports and nutrition is what is diet. So the food that we eat is called diet. Then we get to know about nutrition. What is nutrition? Nutrition means the process in which we get a lot of nutrients in our body, that is carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamins, minerals, and it will help us to give energy to our body. What are nutrients? Nutrients means what, beta? Nutrients are, children's, about the chemical substance which is present in a food. Like we have vitamin C in all citric fruits like lemon, right? We have pulses of protein we'll get from there, right? Like that. Then we have a point that is balanced diet. What is balanced diet? Balanced diet is something when we have macro as well as micronutrients in a proper proportion in our diet. So there are two types of things, that is macronutrients and micronutrients, right? So macronutrients are those nutrients which are required in large amount. This will be your MCQ question, right? So then if we talk about micronutrients, so micronutrients are those nutrients which is required in a small amount. Okay, so macro as well as micro. So balanced diet is that diet which consists of all the nutrients, whether it is macro or micro, like carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamins, minerals, water, roughage, so that the body will work efficiently. There are three things: energy yielding food, bodybuilding food, and defensive food. When we talk about energy yielding food, it consists of carbohydrate and fat. These are the energy yielding food, and it must be 60 to 70% in your diet. And if we talk about fat must not exceed 5 to 10%, right? So this will be your MCQ question, that what are the energy, which among the following is the energy yielding food? So carbohydrate and fat are the energy yielding food. Which among the following should be 60 to 70% in our diet? So yes, energy yielding food is carbohydrate required in the our body, which is for the energy yielding food. Okay, children. So I was talking to you about bodybuilding food. So bodybuilding food, it consists of protein. It helps for the proper growth and development of our body, and it helps us to replace worn tissues and beta. See here, this is again a very important point: 15 to 20%. So our body must have 50 to 20% of protein. Got it? Then about defensive food. So if we talk about defensive food, it consists of vitamins, minerals, water. These food help us to provide, defense from various infections. And defensive food must be 15 to 20% in our diet. This is something which is so important, right? Now come to this, see this flow chart, you'll get everything, whatever we require, right? So that is the nutrients. The nutrients are the chemical substance which are found in various food. So nutrients can be macro, nutrients can be micro. So macro, which is required in large amount, and micro, which is required in a small amount. When it is macronutrient, carbohydrate, fat, and proteins are there. Micronutrients, vitamins, and minerals are there. Vitamins, so fat soluble vitamin, water soluble vitamin, right? And may fat soluble vitamins and soluble vitamins. So when we talk about fat soluble vitamins, these vitamins are soluble in fat. That is vitamin A, D, E, K. And when we talk about water soluble vitamin, so water soluble vitamin are vitamin B and vitamin C. So minerals can be major mineral and minerals can be trace minerals. So calcium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, chloride, magnesium, sulfur. These are the major minerals. Minerals, like if we talk about calcium. So calcium is very good for your bones, right? Sodium for memory, neuromuscular coordination. Trace minerals like iron. So iron help you to mix with the hemoglobin, and just because of hemoglobin, our blood is red. And if there is a lack of iron in your body, there will be anemia, sickle cell anemia, right? If there is calcium deficiency, there will be a ricket. Okay. So things like there is a deficiency of iodine, so it may lead to goiter. So each and every nutrient is very, very important in your diet. It must be there, otherwise you have lot of that is the dietary problems, right? Deficiency disease. Okay. So done with this part, nutrients, macronutrients, right? So go through it nicely because there will be a lot of MCQs about diet, about balanced diet, about nutrition, about nutrients, right? About balanced diet, what are the components of balanced diet, what is macro, what is micro, what macro, so it is carbohydrate, fat and protein, micro, it is vitamins, minerals and roughage, right? So these are some things which are very, very important. Energy yielding food, that is the 60 to 70%. Fat soluble, that is 5 to 10%. Fat is should be 5 to 10%. This will be your MCQ question, right? And bodybuilding food, which is 15 to 20%. Defensive food, vitamins and minerals, which should be there in 15 to 20% in your body. So there are two things you need to keep in your mind, that macro and micro lead to a balanced diet. So balanced diet is a diet which consists of all the nutrients in a proper amount. Okay, please ensure that carbohydrate, fat, protein, these are macronutrients. Vitamins and minerals are micronutrients. Vitamins are of two types, fat soluble vitamin and water soluble vitamin. And minerals are of also two types, major minerals and trace minerals. So major minerals you can see like calcium, phosphorus, potassium, chloride, magnesium, sulfur, iron, zinc. These are trace minerals, right? So major minerals are those minerals which are required in large amount. Like our whole body is made up of bones, our skeleton system, right? So mineral is there, that is the major mineral, right? So calcium, if there is a deficiency of calcium, there will be a ricket in our body. If there is deficiency of sodium, phosphorus, there will be a lot of neuromuscular problem. Iron, the deficiency of iron lead to anemia. The deficiency of iodine lead to goiter. So these are some postural problems we may face if we have this deficiency of all those nutrients, right, children? So I hope you got it, right? With this, take care. Lots of love and blessings to all of you.